Hello and welcome to 1969 Baseball. The Cubs are coming to San Diego to continue this four-city road trip on a four-game winning streak and having taken 5 out of their last 6. In today's game against the Padres, the Cubs will be sending starting pitcher Ken Holtzman out to the mound. He is 4-4 with a 3.55 ERA, 126 WHIP, and he will have a lineup around him of Gosger, Beckert, Williams, Santo, Blomberg, Hundley, Banks, Kessinger, and the pitcher Holtzman batting ninth. On the Padres side, we see Dick Kelly on the mound. He is making start number 9 with an 0-7 record. He has a 6.20 ERA and a 1.80 WHIP. The Padres lineup will include Brown, Gonzalez, Ferrara, Pagan, Davenon, Cianziaro, Pena, Davis, and the pitcher Kelly batting ninth. It is a beautiful 71 degrees and the wind blowing left to right at 8 mph. And now the Padres are going to take the field to face off with the Cubs in today's contest. So with Kelly on the mound, we're ready to get this game started. He is facing the Cubs leadoff hitter Jim Gosger. The Cubs coming in with a record of 19-23, facing off with the Padres, who come in with a record of 7-35. The Padres are on a 5-game losing streak, while the Cubs are on a 4-game winning streak. Kelly now standing on the mound, facing off with Gosger. He is looking for the sign, and here is the first pitch of the ballgame, and Gosger grounds it over to first. Picked up and stepping on first is the first baseman Davis, and that'll be out number 1. Next up, Glenn Beckert. With 1 out and nobody on, here's a full count pitch to Glenn Beckert, and a grounder up the middle. The shortstop has it. He throws over to first. That'll be out number 2. Billy Williams now batting with 2 outs and nobody on base. Here is a 1-ball count and the pitch to Billy Williams, and a ground ball to short. The throw goes over to first, and the Cubs are retired in order. We go down to the bottom of the first inning of a scoreless ball game. Next up is Ollie Brown leading off for the Padres against Ken Holtzman. 1-1 count. Holtzman looking to deliver the pitch. Here is the sign, the stretch, and the delivery. And a ground ball to second. Picked up and thrown over to first. That is going to be out number 1. Next up is Tony Gonzalez with 1 out, nobody on. 2-2 is the count as Holtzman delivers the pitch to Gonzalez. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So that is going to be the second out of the inning, first strikeout of the game. And it brings up Ferrara. 2 outs, nobody on, 1 strike count. And a liner into right field. That is going to drop in for a single. With 2 outs, the Padres have runner on first. And Pagan is the next batter. He is facing Holtzman with a 2 outs, and there's a liner up the middle for another base hit. So back-to-back singles for the Padres here in the first inning. Put runners on first and second with 2 outs. Next up will be the right-hander Jerry Davenon with 2 outs, 2 men on, and a 2-2 count. And there is strike 3 called, so Holtzman gets the strikeout to retire the side. 2 runners are stranded. We're going down to the bottom of the first inning of a 0-0 ball game. Now in the top of the second, Ron Santo is the batter. He's going to face Kelly to lead off for the Cubs in the top of the second inning. 1-1 is the count. Santo waiting for the pitch. And a ground ball to second. Davenon has it. He throws over to first. That's going to be out number 1. Blomberg now the batter with 1 out, nobody on base. 2-2 count. And the pitch to Blomberg. And there's a grounder to short. The shortstop fields it, throws over to first. That's going to be out number 2. Hundley now the batter. 2 outs and nobody on. 1 ball is the count. Hundley grounding it over to first. The first baseman picks it up, steps on the base, and that'll end the inning. So the Cubs go down in order again. We go down to the bottom of the second inning of a scoreless ball game. Caniziaro, I'm going to figure out how to pronounce that name at some point. Waiting for the 3-1 pitch, and he takes a grounder over to third, past Santo, down into the third left field corner. Williams chasing all the way to the wall. That'll be a leadoff double for the Padres, Caniziaro. And next up is going to be Roberto Pena with runner on second, nobody out. Here's the first pitch to Pena. Grounder up the middle. Pitcher has it. He throws over to first. That's going to be out number 1. The runner advances to third, and now the Padres are 90 feet away from scoring the first run of this ball game. And Bill Davis is the next batter. 1 out. Runner on third. 2-strike count. Holtzman working. Here's the delivery. And strike 3 is called. So Holtzman getting the 3rd strikeout of the game. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Kelly. 2 outs, 1 man on. Holtzman facing Kelly with a 2-1 count. And a grounder over to first. Banks has it. He steps on the base, and that will end the inning. So the Padres stranding the runner on third. They do not score. We go to the top of the 3rd inning of a scoreless ball game. Ernie Banks leading off against Dick Kelly. Here in the top of the 3rd inning. 1-2 count. And Banks lines that one down in the right field corner. This is going to be extra bases as Banks rounding first, heading for second. The throw goes to second, the slide, and Ernie Banks is safe with a lead-off double. Nice piece of hitting right there for Ernie Banks, as he is now in scoring position, and the Cubs send up Don Kessinger. Kessinger is going to be asked to bunt in this situation. Here's the 1-strike count. Kessinger lays down the bunt over toward first. The pitcher has it. He throws to first, and that will be out number 1. Banks advancing over to third. Now that brings up the pitcher, Holtzman. Can Banks score on a potential squeeze play? I don't think so. Maybe if Banks was faster, but that's not the case here. So Holtzman needs to get it out of the infield to drive in the run. The infield is drawn in. Kelly facing Holtzman with a 2-1 count. And here comes the pitch. And a grounder up the middle. The shortstop has it. He throws over to first, and that's out number 2. So the Padres infield now plays back as Jim Gosger comes up. 2 outs, 1 man on. Gosger waiting for the 3-1 pitch. Kelly delivering. And that is ball 4. So Gosger takes the pitch outside. He heads down to first. And Glenn Beckert is the next batter. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Cubs trying to break this scoreless tie. Here's a 1-2 pitch, and Beckert lines that one right at the third baseman to end the inning. So Beckert needed to elevate that just a little more to get it into left field, but the Cubs strand 2. Going to the bottom of the third, it's still a scoreless ball game. Ollie Brown leading off for the Padres here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2-2 count. Holtzman delivering the pitch. Grounder over to first. Picked up and stepping on the base is Ernie Banks. That's going to be out number 1. Next up, Tony Gonzalez with 1 out and nobody on. 2-2 count. Holtzman delivering. And a pop-up to left. Going back is Billy Williams toward the warning track. He is going to make the catch in front of the wall for out number 2. Now Ferrara is the batter. 2 outs, nobody on. 1 ball count. Here's the pitch to Ferrara. And another line drive, this time coming in is Billy Williams in left field. He still makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. We go down to the top of the 4th of a scoreless ball game. Williams facing Kelly here in the top of the 4th inning. He made the put out to end the previous half inning. Facing Williams with a first pitch, and there's a line drive deep left field going back. The left fielder, however, Ferrara reaches up and grabs it for the first out of the inning. Ron Santo now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Kelly facing Santo with a 1-strike count. Here's the pitch. Oh, and he's hit. Santo is hit by the pitch, and he takes first. So that is going to be a base runner for the Cubs. Runner on first with 1 out. Blomberg now the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. Blomberg waiting for the pitch. He's going to line that one in the opposite way into left field. Nice piece of hitting there by Blomberg with an inside-out swing. And now the Cubs have 2 men on with 1 out. And Randy Hundley is the batter. Hundley facing Kelly with a 2-strike count. And there's a liner past the third baseman into left field. Is Santo going to try to score? He rounds third. He's heading home. The throw comes home. Santo slides, and he is safe. That's an RBI single for Randy Hundley, and the Cubs take a 1-0 lead. Aggressive base running right there by Ron Santo as he scores on that single, and it brings up Ernie Banks. 1 out, 2 men on. Banks facing Kelly with a full count. Here is the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Ernie Banks goes down swinging. That's the second out of the ball game, second out of the inning. First strikeout of the ball game for Dick Kelly, and it brings up Don Kessinger. 2 outs, 2 men on. Kessinger laid down a sacrifice his last time up. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and Kessinger takes low for ball 4. So that is going to load up the bases as the pitcher Holtzman comes up. He is 0 for 1 on the day. Facing Kelly with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Here's the 2-strike pitch to Holtzman. Kelly delivering. And strike 3 is called. Holtzman goes down looking. The Cubs leave the bases loaded. They score once, and it's a 1-0 ball game going into the bottom of the 4th inning. Pagan now facing Holtzman to lead off for the Padres in the bottom of the 4th. 1-2 is the count, and Pagan swings and misses for strike 3. So Holtzman recording the 4th strikeout of the game, and it brings up Davenon with 1 out, nobody on. Full count pitch, Davenon waiting. And there's a grounder over toward third. Santo charging, he throws over to first, but the throw is late. And Davenon has an infield single. That brings up Canizaro, who is 1 for 1 today. Facing Holtzman, 1 out, 1 man on. 1-2 is the count. And there's a liner into center field. That's another base hit. So the Padres have something going here in the bottom of the 4th. Back-to-back singles with 1 out, which brings up Roberto Pena. 1 out, 2 men on. Holtzman working. 2-2 count. And a grounder over to first. Banks has it. He throws to second. The relay does not come back to first, however, as the Cubs get the force out on the runner at second. And now there's 2 outs, runners on the corners, and Bill Davis is the batter. He is 7 for 31 with a home run and an RBI this season. Holtzman working with 2 outs, 2 men on. Cubs up by 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a fly ball into center field. Gosger coming in fast. He has a line on it, and he makes the catch to end the inning. So the Padres strand 2. They do not score. We're going to the top of the 5th of a 1-0 ball game. Gosger now facing Kelly to lead off for the Cubs in the top of the 5th inning. 2-1 is the count. Gosger waiting for the pitch. And a grounder toward first. Picked up and stepping on the base is Davis. That is out number 1. Glenn Beckert now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Beckert waiting for the first pitch. And here it comes. And a liner into center field. That'll be a base hit. Oh no! The center fielder, Gonzalez, makes an athletic play. That looked like it was going to be a sinking line drive that would hit the ground for sure. Davis makes the grab, or Gonzalez makes the grab, robbing Beckert of a base hit. So now Billy Williams is the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Williams facing Kelly with a 1-ball count. And Williams grounds it over to first. Picked up and stepping on the base is Davis. That'll end the inning. The Cubs do not score. They go down in order. We go down to the bottom of the 5th inning of a 1-0 Chicago lead. Dick Kelly leading off for the Padres in the bottom of the 5th. Holtzman working with a 2-1 count. Here is the pitch to Kelly. And he's going to ground that one up the middle. The shortstop Kessinger has it, throwing over to first for out number 1. Brown now the batter, 1 out and nobody on. Holtzman facing Brown with a 1-2 count, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. 5 strikeouts on the day for Ken Holtzman. And the second out of the inning brings up Tony Gonzalez. 2 outs and nobody on. Gonzalez waiting for the 2-2 pitch. Holtzman delivers. And another swing and a miss for strike 3, this time at the changeup. So the Cubs retire the Padres in order. We go to the top of the 6th of a 1-0 ball game. Ron Santo is going to face Kelly here in the top of the 6th inning. Kelly with 73 pitches, working with a 1-1 count. And Santo's going to line that one right back up the middle. He shoots it into center field for a leadoff single. Santo stopping at first, which brings up Blomberg. Nobody out, 1 man on. Blomberg facing Kelly with a full count. Here is the pitch. That is low. It is ball 4. So the Cubs have the first 2 runners on in the top of the 6th inning, which brings up Randy Hundley. Nobody out, 2 men on. Hundley facing Kelly. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI today. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Kelly. And way inside, that is ball 4. So that loads the bases with nobody out. And now Ernie Banks is the batter. He is 1 for 2 today. He's facing Kelly with nobody out. Bases loaded in the top of the 6th inning. Cubs looking for some insurance runs. Here's the 1-ball count, the pitch to Banks, and that skips away. It goes to the backstop. The runner comes home from third, and he scores. So the Cubs score their 2nd run of the ball game, taking a 2-0 lead. here in the top of the 6th inning. Now, Banks still working. 2 runners in scoring position. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And that is ball 4. Banks draws the walk. He heads down to first. And the 5th walk of the day is issued by Dick Kelly, which brings up Don Kessinger. Nobody out. Bases loaded again. 1-1 pitch to Kessinger, and he's going to ground that one up the middle. The shortstop can't handle it. It gets into center field. That's going to be an infield single for Kessinger. Another run scores. The Cubs now have a 3-0 lead. And now Holtzman is the batter. The infield drawn in. Hundley is on third. Banks on second. Kessinger on first. Holtzman the batter. Nobody out in the 6th inning. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Holtzman waiting. Here it comes, way inside for ball 4. And Holtzman draws the walk, gets credited with the RBI, and he drives in the run by drawing the walk. So Holtzman gets his 3rd RBI of the season, and it brings up Gosger. With nobody out and the bases still loaded, Kelly facing Gosger with a 1-2 count. And Gosger's going to pop that one up in foul territory. First baseman is chasing over toward the stands. He makes the catch for out number 1. Now Glenn Beckert is coming up with 1 out and the bases loaded. Beckert waiting for the 2-0 pitch. And he'll ground that one over to short. That's picked up, thrown to second, but no relay to first. And another run will score. The Cubs now take a 5-0 lead on the fielder's choice. Beckert safe on first. Kessinger advancing to third, and now Billy Williams is the batter. 2 outs, runners on the corners. 1-2 is the count. Billy Williams shoots that one into left field, all the way down to the corner for another base hit. 1 run will score. Heading to third is Beckert. He stops at third. Williams is going to have an RBI double, and the Cubs now have a 6-0 lead. Next up is Ron Santo, and now the Padres bring in a relief pitcher, Frank Rehberger. He's thrown 22 innings, walked 19, struck out 15, and has a 7.36 ERA. So Santo facing Rehberger here in the top of the 6th with 2 outs and 2 men on. Here is the 2-1 pitch to Ron Santo. He's looking for the sign. And here is the delivery. And Santo lines that one to left field. That's going to drop in for another base hit. Another run scores. The second runner's coming around. He rounds third. He slides, and he is safe. And Santo gets a 2-run RBI single. The Cubs now own an 8-0 lead. 7 runs have come across the plate in this inning, and Blomberg is the next batter. 2 outs and 1 man on. Rehberger facing Blomberg with a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. And he's going to shoot that one down the right field line. That's another base hit. Santo rounding second, and he's stopping. He did not try to advance to third as the throw came back in quickly to the cutoff man. So now Hundley the batter with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Cubs up by 8, looking for more here in the top of the 6th inning. Rehberger facing Hundley with a 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. And that's shot into center field. Going to be playable, however, as the center fielder makes a few steps to his left to make the catch for out number 3. The Cubs score 7 times and take an 8-0 lead into the bottom of the 6th inning. Holtzman now facing Ferrara in the bottom of the 6th. Holtzman working on a shutout here with a 2-2 count. He is looking to deliver the pitch. Here it comes. Liner into center field. That's another base hit. The Padres have their 6th base hit of this ballgame as Holtzman working now against Pagan. Nobody out, 1 man on. Here's the 1-strike count, the pitch, and a pop up to center. Gosger's going to get under this one. He will make the catch, and that is out number 1. Davenon now coming up to bat with 1 out, 1 man on. Here's the 1-2 count, and the pitch to Davenon, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So he gets him on the inside fastball, and Davenon strikes out swinging. Cannizzaro now the batter. 2 outs, runner on first. Holtzman working. First pitch. And a liner into right field. That's going to be another base hit. Blomberg cuts it off, gets it back in quickly, and the runner stops at second. So the Padres now, with 2 base hits, have runners on first and second with 2 outs. Pena now the batter. Facing Holtzman with a 1-1 count. Holtzman looking to deliver the pitch. Here it comes. And a drive, deep left field, going back is Williams. He's going to look up, and it is gone. A 3-run home run in the bottom of the 6th inning. 387 feet off the bat of Roberto Pena gives the Padres 3 runs, and it cuts it to a 5-run deficit. So now Holtzman facing Davis with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here is the first pitch to Bill Davis. And there's a grounder up the middle. The second baseman, Beckert, has it. He throws to first, and that will end the inning. So the Padres score 3 times. They're still down by 5 going into the top of the 7th inning. And with the pitcher spot due up third, this is going to be it for Holtzman. We're going to go ahead and warm up. Oh, who are we going to warm up? We're going to warm up Don Eddy to come in and work against the Padres in the next half inning. So, Rehberger facing Banks here in the top of the 7th. The Cubs are up by 5 and looking to build on that lead. Here's a 2-2 count and the pitch to Banks. And a liner into left field. Is that going to drop? Yes, it does. Banks has the base hit. He stops at first with a single. So a leadoff base hit, and that is going to bring up Don Kessinger. He's facing Rehberger with a runner on first and nobody out. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Kessinger. And that is low. It is ball 4. So Kessinger draws the walk. He heads down to first, and Holtzman is the next batter. However, this is where we're going to see the pinch hitter come in. Wes Parker is going to pinch hit for the Cubs. He is going to come up, and the switch hitter will bat from the left side against the righty Rehberger. 2 men on, nobody out in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the 1-strike count and the pitch to Parker. And he's going to shoot that one in the gap in right center field. This is going to drive in some runs. Parker rounding first, heading for extra bases. Banks comes home to score. Kessinger stops at third. And Parker has an RBI double coming off the bench in the top of the 7th inning. Cubs now have a 9-3 lead. Next up will be Gosger. With nobody out and 2 men on, Rehberger facing Gosger with a 1-1 count and the pitch. Grounder up the middle. Shortstop has it. He throws over to first, and Gosger beats it out for an infield single. Well, a nice defensive play by the shortstop to stop that ball from getting to center field. But Gosger still beats it out. The run scores, so credit him with an RBI single. And now the Cubs have a 10-3 lead. Glenn Beckert is the next batter. He's facing Rehberger with nobody out, runners on the corners here in the top of the 7th inning. 1-ball count. Beckert waiting for the pitch. And a grounder toward third. Picked up. The throw goes to second. The relay to first. And there is a 5-4-3 double play. So the run scores, giving the Cubs an 11-3 lead. There are now 2 outs and nobody on. And Billy Williams is the batter. He is 1 for 4 with an RBI in today's game. Williams facing Rehberger with 2 outs and a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch from Rehberger. And Williams pops it up to right. The right fielder is coming in, and he will make the catch to put it away and end the inning. So we're at the 7th inning stretch here in San Diego, and the Cubs have an 8-run lead going into the bottom of the 7th inning. The new pitcher is going to be Don Eddy for the Cubs. And he is actually going to come in. He's actually going to come in here and pitch. Al Montreal will be the new second baseman, but he's going to come in and bat 7th. And then Wes Parker will stay out there and play first. So, the lefty Don Eddy comes out to the mound. He's thrown 5 innings, walked 8, struck out 5, and has an ERA of 18. He's going to see if he can protect the 8-run lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Eddy working with a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch to Van Kelly, and there's a grounder to second. Picked up Montreal. He throws over to first, and that's out number 1. Next up is another pinch hitter, Larry Stahl. He is facing Eddy with 1 out, nobody on base here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Eddy working with a 2-strike count. Here comes the pitch. And a Check swing, strike 3. So that's the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Eddie. And that will bring up Gonzalez. 2 outs, nobody on. Full count payoff pitch. Here it comes. Liner into center field. That'll be a base hit. Gosger gets it back into the cutoff man as the hitter stops at first with a single. Next up is Ferrara. 2 outs, 1 man on. Eddie working with a 3-1 count. And he throws ball 4 inside, issuing the walk. Walk number 15 on the season for Ferrara, and it will bring up another pinch hitter, Gil Vidrio. He is going to face Eddie with 2 outs and 2 men on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Eddie looking to deliver the pitch, and there's a grounder to second. Picked up by Montreal again, throwing over to first, which ends the inning. So the Padres strand 2, we go to the top of the 8th of an 11-3 ball game. Ron Santo leading off for the Cubs against Ross here in the top of the 8th inning. He's 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs today. Full count pitch to Ron Santo. Gary Ross, 26 innings, 19 strikeouts so far this season. Here comes the pitch. And a grounder over to third. His counterpart picks it up, the throw over to first, and Santo's out by a step for out number 1. Next up is Blomberg with 1 out and nobody on. Blomberg facing Ross with a full count. Here's the pitch, and a grounder over to third once again. Picked up, thrown over to first. Blomberg is similarly retired for out number 2. And now, Randy Hundley, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI, is going to bat here in the top of the 8th inning against Ross. 3-0 count. Hundley waiting for the pitch. That is inside. It is ball 4. Hundley takes the walk. As he walks down to first, Montreal comes up. And now we're going to see a pinch runner, which is going to be Rick Blatt for the catcher, Hundley. So Blatt is on base over at first with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. Cubs up by 8. Here's a 2-1 pitch. And there's a pop-up to right. Going back as the right fielder, he's going to make the catch and end the inning. So the Cubs do not score. They strand 1. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning of an 8-run Cub lead. And now we're going to make some more defensive moves. Blatt will stay in the game. Blatt will stay in the game, and let's see here. He'll stay in the game and play center field. The new catcher, Felsky, will come into the number 1 spot. And now, Eddie is facing Davenon in the bottom of the 8th inning, leading off for the Padres. Here is the full count and the pitch from Eddie, and that is low for ball 4. So he issues the walk. And now Cannizzaro is the batter with nobody out and a runner on first. 2-strike count, the pitch from Eddie, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Eddie gets his second strikeout of the appearance, and it brings up Pena. 1 out, 1 man on. Pena waiting for the 1-strike pitch. Eddie looking for the sign and delivering, and a liner into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Playing on a hop is Blomberg. He gets it back into the cutoff man. That'll put runners on the corners for the Padres with 1 out, and it'll bring up Bill Davis. 1 out, 2 men on. Here's the first pitch from Eddie to Davis, and a liner into center field. Going back is Gosger, but he looks up, and it's off the wall. 1 run is in. Another runner is surrounding third. He's going to head home, and the Padres score 2 on the Pena. Pena scored the second run. Davis gets the 2-run RBI double. This is now an 11-5 ball game. Eddie is now facing Van Kelly. 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Here's the first pitch to Van Kelly, and a liner right at the first baseman Parker. He squeezes it for the second out of the inning. And now Larry Stahl is the batter. 2 outs, 1 man on. Bottom of the 8th inning. Padres down by 6. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch, and a liner in right field. Blomberg, not wanting to put forth too much effort, plays it on a hop. He throws home. The runner comes around from third, and he's going to score. And now the score is 11-6, as the Padres have scored 3 times in this inning. Eddie now facing Gonzalez with 2 outs and the runner on first. Here is the first pitch to Gonzalez, and there's a liner down the left field line. That's another base hit. Rounding first and heading for extra bases is Gonzalez. The throw goes to the cutoff man. Then the throw comes home. The runner slides, and he is safe. And now this is an 11-7 ball game in the bottom of the 8th inning. So we're going to have to warm up a relief pitcher. It is going to be Hamilton. And he is going to face, well, and let's visit the mound. Eddie says, how do I feel? Feel pretty good. Well, your pitching belies the way you feel, I suppose. So now, Eddie facing Ferrara with 2 outs and a runner on second in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's a 2-1 count and the pitch to Ferrara. And a grounder to second. Picked up by Montreal. He throws over to first, which will end the inning. So the Padres score 4 times, and the Cubs take a 4-run lead into the top of the 9th inning. We're going to sit down Hamilton. He will be allowed to pitch in the 9th. However, Kessinger leading off for the Cubs here in the top of the 9th inning. The pitcher spot is due up 4th if we get that far. So Kessinger facing Ross with a 2-1 count. Top of the 9th, here's the pitch. Grounder over to second, picked up and thrown over to first. That is out number 1. Next up is Parker. He got the RBI double last time up. 1 out, nobody on. 1 ball count and the pitch to Parker. Here it comes. And Parker grounds it over to third. The throw goes to first, and that is out number 2. Next up is Felsky. 2 outs, nobody on. Ross working with a 1-strike count. Here is the pitch to Felsky. And a liner into center field, going back as the center fielder. It's over his head, going all the way to the wall. So rounding first and heading for second is Felsky. He is going to have a 2-out double here in the top of the 9th inning. And that will bring up the pitcher's spot, which means we are getting a pinch hitter. Hamilton is still warmed up and ready to go. The switch hitting Matt Alexander is going to pinch hit for the pitcher's spot here in the top of the 9th inning. Alexander stepping up from the left side, facing the righty Ross, with 2 outs and runner in scoring position in the top of the 9th. Here's a 1-ball count, the pitch to Alexander, and a liner into the gap in left center field. That's going all the way to the wall. Rounding third and heading home is the runner, and he is going to score. So Felsky scores, and Alexander has the RBI double, and the Cubs now have a 12-7 lead. Next up is Billy Williams with 2 outs and the runner on second. Ross working with a 2-strike count. And Williams lines that one past the third baseman down in the left field corner. Cubs are saying, we can score some more runs. We aren't afraid of you. Williams getting the RBI double as Alexander comes around to score. And now it is a 13-7 game. So Billy Williams getting his 21st RBI of the season, and it brings up Ron Santo. Santo 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs on the day. Facing Ross with 2 outs and the runner on second. Here's the 1-strike count and the pitch to Santo, and a grounder to second. Picked up and thrown over to first. That will end the inning. The Cubs score twice, going to the bottom of the 9th with a 6-run lead. And now, Steve Hamilton is going to be brought in. I believe Matt Alexander. Oh, return to game here. Matt Alexander, I believe, is going to stay in. Yes, he's going to stay in at third base. Hamilton will come in for Santo, pitch. Alexander will stay in to play third. So, Hamilton facing the pinch hitter Spezio here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Cubs up by 6, trying to close out this game, only 3 outs away. Here's the 1-strike count. Hamilton looking for the sign and delivering the pitch. And there's a grounder back to the mound. The pitcher Hamilton has it. He throws to first, and that'll be out number 1. Next up is Davenon with 1 out, nobody on base. Here's a full count pitch from Hamilton. Here it comes. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Hamilton gets the strikeout for the 2nd out of the inning. Next up is Cannizaro. Hamilton will duel with Cannizaro to try to end the ball game. Here's a 3-0 count, and the pitch, that is low for ball 4, so Hamilton issues the walk. And next one up is Pena with 2 outs and 1 man on. Pena facing Hamilton with a 2-strike count. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3, so that'll end the ball game. The Cubs getting 13 runs on 14 hits with no errors. The Padres 7 runs on 13 hits with no errors. The Cubs improving to 20-23, while the Padres dropped to 7-36. The player of today's ball game is Roberto Pena of the Padres. Really? Pena went 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored and 3 RBIs. However, the Cubs' Ken Holtzman went 6 innings. He earned the win to go to 5-4. 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 7 strikeouts, and lowered his ERA to 3.65. The Padres' Kelly suffers the loss. He goes to 0-8. He threw 5 2/3 of 6-hit, 8-run baseball with 6 walks and 2 strikeouts. And the Cubs, we will see that Ernie Banks went 2 for 3. Santo went 2 for 5. Williams went 2 for 6. A lot of runs scored on the Cubs side. But, yeah. Anyway, that is the end of our ball game. Thank you for watching 1969 Baseball.